the TMZ Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the TMZ Podcast. I'm Branson, Quirke.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Eric Sinsley.
And we are here today because, and I say this every single day, Charlie Cotton is on vacation.
Lucky.
I think it's coming to an end here pretty soon. He's going to be back next week. He's going to have a great 4th of July holiday. And Charlie Neff, again, is just super busy this week. We're just trying to get, everything done because we do have a long weekend this weekend for the 4th of July. Super excited about that. Had to have Eric Sinsley on the podcast.
Yes, sir.
We're good friends here at the office. Again, the reason I'm even up here, I am the podcast producer. So when no one's available to come on, I got to come on as the last-minute emergency, last-ditch effort. And Eric here, want to tell them what you do here at TMZ?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for having me. Happy to sit in. I am on the galleries side of TMZ, so I get all the photos, and then I write stories to the photos and keep it fun, keep it light, keep it fresh.
Yeah, so whenever you go on the website and you're in a story and you see all the photos that we put up of things, this guy is directly behind that. He produces all that content for us, and he's always super busy. And he came in early today for this.
Yeah. I will say the Bezos-Sanchez wedding has kept us very busy.
A lot of pictures.
To say the least.
A lot of pictures. Well, unfortunately, we have such a tragedy to talk about today. And this one hits home for me because I have family in Spokane, Washington, which is not far from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. So when I heard about this yesterday, truly heartbreaking. I was just in Coeur d'Alene just a few months ago, and this place is a small town. So for this to happen there is just so unexpected.
Yeah.
And we'll talk all about the new details. We have the 911 call for the fire that was set by the shooter that targeted these first responders who showed up to this brush fire. And we'll get into all those new details that are currently still coming out. And there's a lot more for this investigation.
Right.
We're also going to talk about, there was a mishap over the weekend for Beyoncé at her concert in Texas. Super scary situation for her, dangling from a car, which then tilted, and appearing from the video, wild stuff here. She could have definitely fallen. It could have been a very tragic situation based on what I saw.
Yeah, she definitely had a halo over her head.
Oh, did you prepare that before this, Eric?
No, it just came to me.
Okay, all right. I don't know if that. I think you prepared that one. I see it on your notes here. Okay, and then the final story we'll talk about everybody's favorite couple, whether or not that's true or not. Favorite couple, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, were seen out to dinner in New York City once again. This seems to happen every single weekend. But and we'll also mention Bezos' wedding, the wrap up of that. We've been talking about it all week. Yeah. We'll mention that. But to get into our first story, again, so tragic. Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, 3 first responders, firefighters were shot. And make sure I say this correctly, Kootenai County out in Coeur d'Alene. A brush fire was set, and when the firefighters responded, a shooter up in the trails, the mountain range near that brush fire, had a sniper and fired on these first responders. And I'm going to go through the timeline of events here just to give you context on what happened. This was yesterday, Sunday. To begin with, it was 1:21 p.m. The sheriff's office received a call reporting a brush fire on Canfield Mountain. That's where the fire was. And we have the 911 call. We'll play it for you right now.
Central BC 5, Central BC 5. BC 5 up 6. Send law enforcement right now. There's an active shooter zone. They're shot. BC 3's down, BC 1's down. Everybody's shot up here. Law enforcement, code 3 now up here. 551, 10 or 14 up here. Stop. Get out of the way. 10 or 14. Engine push 551. Do not come up here. Then immediately up here, we've got 2 unresponsive battalion chiefs, multiple gunshot wounds. 2 Coeur d'Alene firefighters are down.
I thought there are 2 unresponsive battalion chiefs. Law enforcement getting there as quickly as they can.
Law enforcement get up here. We could possibly get the 2 wounded out. I'm pinned down behind Battalion 1's rig. It's clear to me that this fire was set intentionally to draw us in.
Man, you can hear the urgency in their voices, trying to...
Terrifying.
Yeah, get a plan together.
And my bad, it was not the 911 call from the man reporting the fire. it was the dispatch from the EMS and the county fire reporting everything that was happening at once. Shortly after this, it was estimated that 300 law enforcement personnel engaged. Wild. 300 law enforcement personnel engaged in a high-risk manhunt while the fire continued to burn. Gunfire is exchanged. What we know from what we're told by sources is that law enforcement sources tell us that the way they found the shooter up in the mountain range that was shooting down at them with the sniper was that they used a cell phone tracker. I didn't even know this was a thing. They used a cell phone tracker to find the signal of his cell phone up in the mountain range, and they found this at 3:16 p.m. The suspect's cell phone was not moving, and it indicated that his location had stabilized. So they were able to find exactly where he was. Now, what we don't know is, I want to know, just because my dad works in law enforcement, I want to know how are they able to exchange fire with the suspect, because the mountain range is so vast and everything. I've been to Coeur. I was just there a few months ago, seeing the mountains that are around this area. I don't even know how they would spot somebody in the brush, whether or not he was wearing camouflage. He was hidden in the trees there, in the brush. I don't know how they found him. I'm sure that will come out eventually. I'm sure they had the type of weapons they used for that sniper and everything to locate him. But 300 law enforcement personnel to engage in this massive manhunt. Around 6:30 p.m., law enforcement is told the suspect must be neutralized swiftly. Around 7:40 p.m., the suspect is found dead with a firearm nearby. His body is scooped up quickly due to the wildfire threat, and officials believe that he acted alone. And then around post 7:40 p.m., the area was deemed safe. Firefighting crews finally were given access to battle the blaze. So during this entire time, they were still, having to battle this blaze that was burning.
Right.
And it's believed that the suspects lit this to attract them to the scene, but we don't know the motive.
So yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. We don't know the motive, A, and B, we do not know how he was allegedly killed or if he took his own life, right? We're still waiting on those details.
Well, we're still waiting on the details. We know that they're still working to identify him. It's unclear whether or not they've identified him right now. These details continue to come out. We know, at least in terms of the victims, they have not been identified just yet. 2 firefighters, one from Coeur and one from Kootenai County, were killed, and a third is stable post-surgery. That is just horrible.
So once his location was stabilized, are we able to come to the conclusion that his phone was on his body when he was discovered?
That's how they were able to find him. They used this device where they saw the cell phone signal up in the mountain, the trees, wherever he was, and then they found that he wasn't. The cell phone signal was not moving since 3:16 p.m. So that's when they identified, okay, that's exactly where it is, and they were able to neutralize the suspect. What I'm shocked about is that he didn't injure several others, because a lot of people respond to these fires, a lot of personnel. So he had the upper hand on them. I know he's using a sniper. I don't know if he was using any other weapon for this. Again, we don't know. The details are still coming out. They're still working to figure out the motive here. That's the real question. Investigators are likely working to understand the motivation of the Idaho suspect, who they believe started a brush fire before the shooting. And then there's a quote from a former U.S. national intelligence that CNN had reported, saying right now, behind the scenes, there's a lot of work going on to really understand who this individual is and what motivated them to carry out this attack. Whether or not there was some sort of tension, some sort of strife, conflict between local law enforcement and this individual is left up for the question. I mean, really the question is whether or not this person is anti-law enforcement, anti-government, that drove him to do this.
Yeah, we're still waiting to find out his motive. But he clearly wasn't trying to conceal his identity, right? It's 2025. He has more likely he has a Galaxy or an iPhone, so they were able to tap in, get his location. And if there's an intentional brush fire, I mean, that's literally a walking flame of a target.
Right.
So,
but to wrap this up, I have to say, prayers out to the families, everybody dealing with this. Again, Coeur d'Alene is a small place. I was just there walking around quite near this spot, and it's such a peaceful place. Everybody goes there to relax, to vacation, hang out by the lake there. There's a great hotel that me and my family went to. We love going to that spot, which you can look over that whole area with the mountains and everything. And to hear this tragedy happen yesterday is just so heartbreaking. And we will learn more details soon about this. But to move on to our next story, Beyoncé over the weekend had a pretty frightening moment during her show in Texas. The incident occurred on Saturday night during her concert at the NRG Stadium in Houston. It was part of her Cowboy Carter tour, which has been a massive tour so far. It was out here at SoFi. Everybody went to this. During the song 16 Carriages, she was seated in a red convertible, and she was suspended high above the crowd. And at one point, you can see this video. It's on TMZ.com. We have a photo up of it right now. The car tilted at one moment, and everybody just started screaming out, like, whoa, what's going on here? And she was immediately lowered very quickly, we're told by officials, and she was taken, to safety. She was not hurt. Everything was okay. You can hear in the video, she just stopped singing.
Yeah.
And obviously terrified. She's way up in the air there.
Yeah, I think these artists like Katy Perry and Pink who suspend themselves, and not to mention Kanye West had the moving stage. When these artists are doing something so big, it's like that saying, the show must go on. But in instances like this, when you're, harnessed so high in the air and you're tilted about to fall out, okay, the show cannot go on. But, she's so gracefully, talking to her mic. I think in the video you can see her holding on
to the cable.
Yeah, to the cable with one hand. I mean, she looks gorgeous and flawless as per always. And she's, talking into the mic like, we gotta stop.
What's amazing in terms of Beyonce's just performance ability. She continued the show right after this without further incident. She thanked her fans for their patience as the car was safely lowered to the center of the stadium. Parkwood Entertainment did release a statement saying that the situation was a technical mishap. The statement confirmed that no one was injured during the incident. The performance was the first of 2 scheduled nights in Houston for the tour. So I don't know if they did this moment again during the next show. I wouldn't if I was her.
I do want to say, though, this is not Beyonce's first rodeo with stage mishaps. You'll remember she had when she was singing Halo to a fan, her hair got, blown into the fan and got stuck. In 2017, she tumbled down 12 stairs. She's had many mishaps. So if you're Beyonce, you almost have to expect the unexpected. I'm sure someone backstage got a slight lashing, but
I don't even know if they're still employed. I don't think they are. There's no way.
You don't think so?
I don't know. And that depends on how it happened. If there was like negligence of some sort, then if there was negligence on one person's end, then absolutely probably let go. But unless maybe it was a team effort thing, but maybe Parkwood Entertainment.
Yeah.
I don't know if Beyonce's going to want to work with you anymore.
Also, not to throw some shade, but I feel like she kind of needed a big moment like this to go viral because her daughter, Blue Ivy, has taken over this tour with her walkouts and her solo dances. So
wow, so you're saying that she needed something to put Beyonce on the map again?
Yeah, to put her name back in the headlines. Okay. Yeah.
All right, Eric.
Yeah.
Are you a Beyonce fan?
I'm not a Beyonce fan, but I'm not a Beyonce.
Okay, you're just neutral.
Yeah.
You're in the middle.
I feel the same way with Taylor Swift.
Oh, speaking of Taylor Swift, segue into our next story. We got to keep this quick, guys. But there's not much to talk about here. This is a common thing that these two do. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were out to dinner in New York City Saturday night. It seems like it's always Saturday night. This is like their thing every Saturday. We've seen them out more and more. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, stylish dinner date. Taylor wore a pink mini dress with gold buttons and beige heels. I don't know why I'm describing her outfit here, but some people want to hear this. And she did turn heads with this summer-ready look. Travis kept things low-key and luxe, sporting a crisp white top trousers, white socks, and black loafers. That's pretty old man thing to wear, loafers.
Do you think that this is they orchestrate or plan their looks? I mean, look.
Yeah, of course they do. Yes.
Yeah.
Like they're the most photographed couple in the world. They have to coordinate this.
Okay, are they coordinating it, or do they have stylists?
I'm sure they have stylists for this.
Okay.
I'm sure they do. Some more details. What we know is the couple arrived at a trendy downtown restaurant. Security all around me. And they've been busy lately. Fans and paparazzi were all around them as well. It seems like they can almost predict, like I said, them being out together. Paparazzi always ready to see them. He's got that long hair thing going on now.
Yeah, he's got the flow.
I wonder if he's going to cut that for the football season.
I think so. I think
think
this
he
is
will?
his summer look.
Summer look.
Summer look.
I wonder if he got rid of the dad bod this time around for the.
No, remember we covered him about a month ago with the all the back hair.
Oh, did we? I must have missed that. I must have been
yeah.
out sick that day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I look, I think these two, whether they're always out on a Saturday night, if that's orchestrated or not, I don't think they're calling up the cameras themselves.
Sure.
But look, whenever they're captured from the paparazzi, they don't. Maybe you'll get a wave, but they're usually head down, eyes down, going into the restaurant or wherever they're going. If they're smart, they'll continue not to speak because
Sure.
right, because people are into the mysterious side of the relationship. What are they really like? And remember, a few weeks ago, they were at a game, and maybe it was tennis.
I think it was tennis, and then there was they were at the hockey game too.
I think it was the
Cup.
hockey. Yeah, it was the Stanley Cup
Uh-huh.
when Travis was down on his phone and Taylor kind of got a little upset that he wasn't giving eye and face to the cameras. So I don't know. Their relationship is mysterious, and it keeps fans and followers, on their
I've been
toes.
saying it every single episode here. I really hope that this season Travis Kelce just gets down on one knee and makes it official.
I think it'll
Because
happen.
it's been coming for a long time. And speaking of, just to wrap this up real quick, Jeff Bezos, Lauren Sanchez, we talked about it all week last week. We saw them tie the knot officially over the weekend. We got photos. You saw the photos. You're Mr. Photo guy.
Yeah.
You saw them, the celebrities leaving as well. Italy, Venice.
Tons of celebrities, Oprah, Kim Kardashian, Orlando Bloom. I think the internet was definitely speculating a possible hookup with Kim Kardashian or Orlando Bloom. I don't think that happened. But yeah, star-studded wedding, probably the wedding of 2025.
I think the wedding of the decade. Leo DiCaprio, the photo of him leaving, why does he always cover his head?
I kind of like it.
He always
I
covers
respect
his
it.
head. Like the hat down, hoodie down. We know it's you, bro.
Yeah, but look, if he's been out and partying, which, we know he tends to do, he wants to, conceal his identity.
Some people are so famous that they can't be seen.
Yeah.
You know who we never see out ever? And then I just
Who?
thought of this.
Who?
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah,
Like I put Leo, Ryan Gosling all in that same category of people that we just never see out.
Those
And if
top
we do,
A-listers.
they hide.
Yeah.
But it keeps them A-listers,
Yeah.
Keeps them A-listers. George Clooney, people like that, we never see them.
Yeah, for sure.
But we do have comments to get to. We've been going a little long here. Sorry, guys. By the way, yeah, we do comments here.
Yeah.
We answer comments live. These are the comments. So the Idaho shooting comments, horrible tragedy once again. Justin Harris said, "I'm a paramedic myself, a former firefighter." Wow, Justin, that's amazing. This was chilling to hear. We train for this, but it is one of our worst nightmares to encourage this type of terrorism. I absolutely agree with you. Curtis, 33 years, LA Fire Department. Wow, thank you, Curtis, for your service. We took live fire rounds in the 90s at a multiple dwelling arson fire. Judge awarded homes in a divorce settlement. His last words in court: "Over my dead body."
Wow.
Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. DJ Razor Edge said, "It's like a jungle warfare." It's just like
Really
Coeur d'Alene is such a small place. This is so unexpected. Some miscellaneous comments. Thanks for going live with this terrible news. Debbie, Iowa loves TMZ. I actually have cousins in Iowa. Hello, Iowa, if you are listening. Jonna, I hope you're doing well over there. Love Iowa. My cousins are over there. I've never been to Iowa, but I hope it's great.
Makes two of us.
Right. Yes. Well, thanks, guys. Thank you, Eric, for being here today.
Thanks, man.
Charlie Cotton and Charlie Neff will be back here very soon. Thanks for bearing with me, coming on here each day and hearing me out, hearing my opinions. They're very strong opinions. And thank you, Eric.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, guys. Have a great Monday.
Happy Monday, guys.
See you later.